Hey everybody, it's Matt from You and Your Horror Movies, and welcome to day 6 of my 31 Days of Horror. Today I'm bringing you kind of like an independent film from 2017. It's a horror comedy, and we're talking about Inhumanwich. Yes. With Inhumanwich, you have Joe, who is an astronaut. He's sent out to outer space on a special mission to test out, the new rocket and everything. Well, during his lunch break, he's eating his sloppy Joe. The ship is hit with cosmic radiation, and this radiation affects him while he's talking to his talking to the crew down to Earth, and eating a sloppy Joe. He gets kind of fused with his sloppy Joe sandwich. So anyway, on back to Earth, his ship gets detoured and crash lands in a small town, like I think it's near Cincinnati, Ohio area. Well, a couple people come to go check out this crash site, wondering what's going on. Well, Joe now is infused with his sloppy Joe. He turns right off the bat. It looks like a incredible melting man. He is half covered in sloppy Joe meat, and he's developed a taste for flesh. And of course, he kills a couple people, and then he starts to mutate. He starts to mutate into this gigantic blob-like monster formed of sloppy Joe meat. Now, this blob monster starts to go ramage on town and starts to devour the town members. Kids, police officers, dogs, anything it could find, it wants to devour. So the government and everything has to get involved to stop Joe, to figure out how they can stop him from, eating the world, because he is growing. He is growing at an immense rate where pretty soon he can devour all of one state and move on to the next and to the next. And it's pretty much a giant sloppy Joe creature. Now, this is a very low budget, but it's a lot of fun. It's a big homage to the movie The Blob, especially for the 1950s. This is even shot in black and white. So, all those people like, I only watch color. Check this out. I think you have a good time watching this in black and white. And again, it does all the whole trope of the 1950s Blob movie into a giant killer sloppy Joe monster. It's done practically, and the acting is actually well done. I found this by mistake somewhere. I'm like, what the fuck? And found out we have a killer sloppy Joe monster on the loose. So another fun creature feature. Don't remember if this has any special features, but it's just your basic DVD right there of the sloppy Joe monster. Not just this. The whole monster itself is, again, this gigantic blob-like one-eyed monstrosity. The park scene was pretty cool, where everyone's enjoying the park, having barbecues and whatnot, and when it attacks. And of course, we have a giant high killer body rate on this. It's not very gory, because usually when the person's devoured, it's just left the skeleton behind. Let's see here. I think up in the front here, shows like the whole skeleton is left behind with some clothing. But other than that, it's actually pretty well done. It's shot very well. It's mostly a horror comedy. I know some people probably think, what, really? A sloppy Joe monster? Yeah, it is. That's pretty much what it is. It's actually fun. I had a good time with it. I love these nods to the old 50s, 60s horror movies, and they come up with their own special twist on it, which I thought was pretty cool. Again, it plays everything off. Starts off like with Incredible Melting Man type style, with the guys walking out with a spacesuit on, got some sloppy Joe on his face, ready to kill. And then, of course, after he kills some people, the sloppy Joe starts to grow and take over, and now we have what we have. So yeah, it's pretty cool how they take care of the sloppy Joe monster. Something completely different, something I never even would have thought of. And it was kind of weird, but okay. I'll take it with a grain of salt, no pun intended. But anyway, I definitely recommend, if you love food horror, definitely check out Inhumanwich. It's a cool nod to, again, to the old 50s Blob movie, horror comedy, fun shit, guys. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my quick little review for day 6 of my 31 days of horror. Again, we're talking about Inhumanwich. Give some. Peace.